Hello everyone, this is Aravind Seshadri from Roll2Roll Technologies. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the IP address configurations on our controllers. We do provide industrial Ethernet option for our SCU5 controller, and we support multiple different industrial Ethernet protocols like Ethernet IP, Profinet, EtherCAT, or Modbus over TCP. But in this video, we're just going to look at how we can set the IP address for our controller, either doing a static IP address or setting up a dynamic IP address. And then how do we find the IP address of the device, either through the controller or through the network. And then how do you configure the IP address through a network IP address configuration tool. That's what we're going to look at today. We have our controller set up here. In this particular one, we have the SCU5 controller with Hilscher Ethernet module. So you can find the type of module and the type of controller that we have by going into from the home screen. If you just click on Tools, Power User, and then Communication, this brings up the screen where you can see the device configuration. So we have an Ethernet IP, industrial Ethernet protocol, and there are a couple of vendors that we use for that. One of them is Hilscher, and the other one is HMS. So this one we have a Hilscher, and it also shows that the Ethernet is on, the DHCP is off, and the FTP is off. Most of the time we don't need to change any of these settings. When it says that the DHCP is off, that means that we have the static IP address connected or set for our controller, and the controller actually shows what the IP address right now is. It's 192.168.1.100. Now, in case you want to find this IP address through the network, our controller is actually connected to a router. It can be connected to a router or a switch or anything like that. We just want to make sure that if you are connected to a router, that the gateway is set properly for that router's gateway. If you want to now search for this controller from your computer, if you know the IP address of the device, you can directly type it in to your web browser, and 192.168.1.100, and if we have good connection, it's going to bring up our dashboard and you can see this. But what happens is that sometimes you might not have it set up as a static IP. Maybe it's a DHCP. We'll just go over that and show you, if you have a DHCP set, how can you find the IP address of this device. So I'm going to switch back to my controller. If you want to set the IP address to be dynamically generated by your network device, all we have to do is that set this DHCP to be on and then press set. When we have a Hilscher module, whenever we change that configuration, it's going to force the controller to power cycle, and that's what happened right now. It has power cycled, and you go into the screen again, Tools, Power User, Communication, and it's going to show that the DHCP is on, but as you can notice, all the IP address, subnet, gateway, everything was set to 0. We do know that there is a module just because of the fact that the MAC address is visible, and then the Ethernet IP and the Hilscher, these are all visible. That tells us that we have the module there, but we just don't know what the IP address is. If we run into this case, we can use a network scanning tool to be able to find the IP address. I have this already installed on my computer, and we'll switch to the computer and show you how we can find that IP address of this device. This particular module is a Hilscher module, and Hilscher has a tool called Ethernet Device Configuration Tool, and I'm going to click on that. It's going to open that up, and then I'm going to search for the device, and now it actually found the device, and it's telling us the IP address of the device, and this is our device SCU5. You can notice that the IP address didn't change. It remained as 192.168.1.100, but again, it could change to whatever IP address the network router is going to give you, so it may not be the same as the static IP address. Again, if we want to make sure that it's actually detecting the device over the network, but you can also bring up the dashboard and type in 192.168.1.100, and this is going to show you the data coming from the device. And obviously, if we have something in front, it's going to update that as well. So that's a quick way for us to find the IP address of our Hilscher module if we set it up to DHCP. We'll also look at how we can find the IP address of the Anybus module in another video, but please follow us and subscribe to our channel so that you can take a look at all the informational videos that we provide. Thank you.